9 o'clock, so we'll begin. This is the time and place set for public hearings regarding the sale of tobacco products to minors pursuant to Fargo Municipal Code, Chapter 35. These are non-criminal proceedings in which the city, represented here by Mr. Will Wisher, the city has the burden to prove each violation by a preponderance of the evidence, not reasonable doubt, a mere preponderance of the evidence. This is a public hearing, meaning that anyone who wishes to comment regarding any of these matters today may do so. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will make an oral finding today, and then we'll follow that up with a written finding of fact, conclusion of law, and order regarding the hearing today. Any order issued by the court is appealable as allowed by law. Mr. Wisher, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
So the first one we have up today is Bjornsson Oil. So you can just step forward, sir, and have a seat right at this table here. Good morning, sir. Your name?
My name is Chris Jensen.
And Mr. Jensen, what is your position with Bjornsson Oil?
I'm the store manager of the store in Fargo.
Okay. So again, this is time and place set for public hearing regarding sale of tobacco products alleged to have occurred at Bjornsson Oil. I have in my file a copy of the certified mail notice that was sent and signed for. So I do find notice was provided. The date of that notice was October 23rd, 2021, which is at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. On behalf of the store, are you prepared to admit or deny the allegation?
Admit.
And were you present when it happened?
No, I was not.
Okay. And is Bjornsson Oil located at 734 North University Drive? Is that store licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota?
Yes.
And was selling tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
Yes.
So we'll kind of hear from the city about what happened then, and then I'll give you an opportunity to comment regarding that, Mr. Wisher.
On September 22nd, 2021, Officer Schmidt with a individual who was under the age of 21, individual under the age of 21 entered the store and purchased a fuse pod, which is essentially a jewel or tobacco pod used for vaping when they were under the age of 21.
That's an e-cigarette sort of thing?
Yes.
Mr. Jensen, is that your understanding of what happened?
Yep, that's what I understood, yep.
And so do you basically agree with the city's statement of the facts here?
Yes.
Anything about it you want to tell me about it, or?
Well, we have our training process we go through with all the employees, and they sign off on it when they feel comfortable with it. We have our internal checks that he passed 4 times, but for some reason they got in a big hurry on this one and didn't even think about it.
Okay.
We have our scanning system set up so that all they have to do is look at the ID and scan it, and the tills will tell you if they're old enough or should deny them. So it was just one of those things where he didn't follow procedures, I guess.
Anything else about it anything else you would like to tell me about it? Or?
No, that's about it, I guess. He's been terminated. That's our policy, is if they do that, they get terminated.
I find there were no previous offenses. Is there any member of the public that wishes to make any other comments regarding this matter? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the hearing. Based on what I've heard today, I do find that a violation occurred. The penalty, it is a first offense within the statutory period. The penalty for that then is a $500 fine. And in addition, you'll be placed on, the store's license will be placed on 12-month probationary period. And so if there was a second violation during that probationary period, the store's license could be suspended. So we'll get an order out in the mail today sort of explaining that and explaining the process from there.
Okay.
Thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Casey's General Store. And we have 2 matters down for Casey General Store today. We'll start with the allegation alleged to have occurred at the store at 4301 13th Avenue South. Your name, sir?
Steve Clark.
And Mr. Clark, your position with Casey's General Store?
District Supervisor.
So I do have in my file a copy of the receipt for the certified mail that was sent in this case. Was delivered November 1st, 2021, which is at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. So I do find notice was provided in this case. On behalf of the store, are you prepared to admit or deny the allegation of a sale of tobacco product to minor?
Admit.
And is this particular store, 4301 13th Avenue South, licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota
Yes.
and sells tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
Yes.
So again, same procedure. We'll hear from the city first, then I'll give you an opportunity to comment on it. Mr. Wisher?
On September 22nd, 2021, Officer Lindstedt was involved in a tobacco compliance check at Casey's General Store, 4301 13th Avenue South, Fargo, North Dakota. An individual under his care who was under the age of 21 entered the store, purchased Marlboro Lights. She actually provided the person with her birthday, and the Marlboro Lights were still provided to her.
And Mr. Clark, were you present on the day this occurred?
No, I was not.
Okay. Is that your understanding of what happened?
Yes.
And I find there has been no previous offenses for this store. Anything else you want to tell me about what happened? Or?
No, we have a policy that they're supposed to check IDs for anyone that looks under 40. And obviously he checked them, but didn't check the date or whatever he didn't do right. So he is no longer with the company.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell me about it?
I'm relatively new, so no. We did fail that piece.
Is there any other member of the public that wishes to comment regarding this matter? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the hearing. Based on what I've heard today, I do find a violation occurred. For this store, it's a first offense within the statutory period. So again, the penalty is a $500 fine, and the store will be placed on that probationary period. So if there was another violation during that period, the store's ability to sell tobacco products would be suspended. We have them in a slightly different order based on the sheet that was sent out, but I think because you're here, and I assume you're here on behalf of the other Casey's store?
Correct.
So we'll just go ahead and kind of move that one up in the order here. So we'll take up Casey's General Store, this one, separate location alleged to have occurred 1401 South University Drive. And again, Mr. Clark is here on behalf of the store. And again, I find that notice was provided in this case, and it was provided at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. So I do find that there is notice on behalf of the store. So, Mr. Clark, with regard to this allegation of sale of tobacco products at the Casey's located at 1401 South University Drive, are you prepared to admit or deny that allegation?
Admit.
And again, this specific store was licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota
Yes.
and selling tobacco products within the city?
Yes.
So again, we'll hear from the city regarding this one, and then I'll give you another opportunity to comment if you wish to.
On September 22nd, 2021, at Casey's General Store located at 1401 South University Drive, Fargo, North Dakota, Officer Schuman conducted a tobacco compliance check. The person under his control, who was under the age of 21 at the time, entered the store and purchased a pack of Newport cigarettes.
And Mr. Wisher, are you aware of any prior violations for this store?
Yes, the city alleges this to be a second offense during the probationary period. The prior offense occurred in March 23rd, 2021.
A second offense, but the first offense within the probationary period?
Correct.
Yeah, so a second offense within the statutory period, is that?
Yes.
And Mr. Clark, on behalf of the store, do you agree with the city's statement of the facts here?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to tell me about it?
No, same policy. Obviously didn't follow the policy.
Okay. Anything else? Any member of the public that wishes to comment regarding this matter? Hearing none, again, we'll close that portion of the hearing. I do find this to be a second offense. The penalty for a second offense is a $500 fine, but in addition to that, the store's license to sell will be suspended for 3 days. So what'll happen is I'll issue an order that'll give you some time to, that includes the dates of that suspension. And we'll get you that, we go out in the mail today, but we'll get you a copy of that, and so you'll have a time to prepare for that. But the store's license to sell will be suspended for 3 days, and in addition, the probationary period then gets extended as well. So we'll get an order out in the mail, sort of explaining all that to you.
Okay,
I do thank you for coming, Mr. Clark.
thank you.
And then we'll go back into the order that we were in here, family fare. And your name, sir?
Ron Eberhardt,
And can you spell your last name for me?
Eberhardt.
And Mr. Eberhardt, your position with Family Fare?
Store director.
So I have in my file a copy of the certified mail receipt that was provided in this case. And I do find that notice was provided and that it was at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. Allegation here is the sale of tobacco products to a minor. On behalf of the store, are you prepared to admit or deny that allegation?
Admit.
And this specific Family Fare location, is that licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota
Yes.
and sells tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
Yes.
Mr. Wisher, the facts?
On September 22nd, 2021, at Family Fare located at 724 North University Drive, Fargo, North Dakota, Officer Schmidt conducted a tobacco compliance check with a person under the age of 21 years of age. This 21-year-old went into the store and purchased a package of Camel 99 Blues cigarettes.
And Mr. Eberhardt, is that your understanding of what happened?
Yes.
And you agree with the city's statement of the facts?
Yes.
Anything else you'd like to tell me about it?
Again, we have a policy for our associates to card anyone who looks under 40 years old. To my knowledge, the person was carded, but they were, the individual who sold was thinking 18 years old, not 21. They have been retrained. First offense is 3-day suspension and final written warning. Second offense within 12 months is termination. And she has been retrained and counseled.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell me about it?
No.
Is there any member of the public that wishes to comment regarding this matter? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the hearing. Based on what I've heard today, I do find a violation occurred. I do find it is a first offense within the statutory period. Again, the penalty for that is a $500 fine and a 12-month probationary period, and all that will be explained in the order that goes out today. So I do thank you for coming in, sir.
Thank you.
Holiday Station Store? Are you here on behalf of Holiday Station Store? Yeah. You can just come right up here then, sir. Thank you. And your name?
Jared Schultes.
And can you spell your last name for me?
Schultes.
And Mr. Schultes, what is your position with Holiday Station Store?
Market manager. It's the area manager for Fargo Moorhead.
So, Mr. Schultes, this is the date and time set for a allegation of a sale of tobacco product by Holiday Station Store to a minor. I have received a copy of the notice that was sent in this case. So I do find that notice was provided, and it was at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. So the allegation here is the sale of tobacco product to a minor on behalf of the store. Are you prepared to admit or deny that allegation?
So I wasn't the area manager at the time this occurred, but I am familiar with it, and to my knowledge, it did occur. So,
Okay. And is this store licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota?
yes.
And sells tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
Yes.
So again, just like before, the procedure that we're gonna follow is we're gonna hear from the city first, and then I'll give you an opportunity to comment or present any evidence if you wish to do so. Mr. Wisher?
On September 22nd, 2021, at Holiday Station Store located at 101 North University Drive, Fargo, North Dakota, Officer Schmidt conducted a tobacco compliance check with a person under the age of 21. The person under the age of 21 entered the store and purchased Ignite pods, which are an e-liquid used for vaping.
And, sir, you weren't present when it happened, is that my understanding?
Correct.
Is that your understanding of what happened?
Yes.
And Mr. Wisher, you're not aware of any prior offenses?
Correct.
Sir, anything else you'd like to tell me about what happened, or any other comments you'd like to make?
I do know at the time the store was struggling with staffing, and so we do have a lot of training that we do provide. We take the tobacco restricted sales policy very seriously. We've got several different layers of things that we provide the staff to try to prevent this. It's, at the time, I will say that training was lacking. The manager was doing roughly 80 hours a week due to short-staffed and COVID issues. So that employee has been terminated. We do terminate first offense for any failed government stings. We also have an internal bars program where twice a month, and we have actually moved that to 4 times a month, that outside companies will come in and try to purchase tobacco products and verify whether or not they were ID'd. So we do have a policy to ID anybody that appears under 40. Unfortunately, due to the circumstances at this time, I can't say for certain, but it would be my assumption that the training was lacking at this time due to staffing, and we did take steps to correct that. So.
Sure. Anything else you'd like to tell me about it?
I don't believe so.
Is there any member of the public who wishes to comment regarding this matter? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of today's hearing. Based on what I have heard, I do find that an offense occurred. The penalty for a first offense is a $500 fine, and the store's license will be placed on a 12-month probationary period. As you've heard me explain, what will happen is I'll prepare a written order regarding that, and we'll get that out in the mail, sort of explaining that to you.
All right.
So that will conclude the hearing for today. I do thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Hornbachers? And specifically, this is the Hornbachers located at 1433 South University Drive. Sir, your name?
Tyler Mayfield,
And I'm sorry, can you spell your last name for me?
Mayfield.
Got it. And Mr. Mayfield, what is your position with Hornbachers?
I am the store director.
So again, the allegation here is the sale of tobacco products to a minor. I do find notice was provided in this case, and that the notice sent was 15 days prior to today's hearing. Mr. Mayfield, did you receive a copy of the notice?
Yes,
And so again, with that allegation, are you prepared to admit or deny that specific allegation of the sale of tobacco products to a minor?
admit.
And is this specific store licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota
Yes,
and sells tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
yes.
So again, we'll hear from the city first, and then I'll give you an opportunity to comment if you wish to. Mr. Wisha?
On September 22nd, 2021, Officer Schumann conducted a tobacco compliance check at Hornbachers located at 1433 South University Drive, Fargo, North Dakota. A person under his control, who was under the age of 21 at the time, entered the store and purchased Newport 100 cigarettes.
And Mr. Wisher, are you aware of any prior offenses for this store?
No, sir.
Mr. Mayfield, on behalf of the store, do you agree with the city's statement of the facts?
Yes.
Anything you wish to tell me about it?
The cashier, she read the ID wrong. She was suspended 1 week and given a final warning.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell me? Any member of the public that wishes to comment regarding this matter? Again, hearing none, we'll close that portion of the hearing. Based on what I've heard today, I do find an offense occurred. I find it's a first offense. And again, the penalty for that is a $500 fine and a 12-month probationary period. And that'll all be explained in the order that you'll receive in the mail regarding this. I do thank you for coming, Mr. Mayfield.
Thank you.
And that leaves us with the last one, Love's Travel Stop. And specifically, this is the location at 3220 39th Street South. This is the date and time set for a hearing, allegation of a sale of tobacco product to a minor. I don't see anyone here on behalf of this specific store. But I have been provided a copy of the notice that was sent in this case. Notice indicating service at least 15 days prior to today's hearing. And looks like there was an email that was sent to city staff from someone on behalf of Love's Travel Stop indicating they received a copy of the notice, but they are not here today. So, Mr. Wisher, we'll start with you. Is it your understanding the specific location is licensed to sell tobacco products by the state of North Dakota
Yes.
and sells tobacco products within the city of Fargo?
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about what happened on this date, and we'll go forward that way.
On September 22nd, 2021, Officer Schuman conducted a tobacco compliance check on Love's Travel Stop at 3220 39th Street South, Fargo, North Dakota. He had with him a person under the age of 21 who entered the store, purchased a Newport 100 cigarettes.
And Mr. Wisher, are you aware of any prior offenses for this location?
No.
And obviously, there's no one here on behalf of the store or any member of the public that's here. Mr. Wisher, anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir.
So we'll close the portion of the evidentiary hearing. We'll close that portion of the hearing. I do find, based on the statements by Mr. Wisher, that an offense occurred. It is a first offense within the statutory period, so we'll impose the $500 fine and the probationary period. Anything else, Mr. Wisher?
That's everything from the city.
So that's everything that we have for today's list, so we'll close the record today, and I thank everyone for showing up.